Hey y'all, it's Jacqueline at Pixie Dust PhD, and by the time this video goes live, I will be in Disney World. I've got a little quick trip on the books this September, so we'll just go over some of the logistics and planning for that today. After our long trip in October 2023, I truly had no intent on heading down to Disney World in 2024. But my friends Frank and Jen from Theme Park Thursday with Dill's Diz are doing their second annual meetup this September, and yeah, so I figured let's do it. I mean, if you have an excuse to go to Disney, you normally take that excuse, right? It also happens to be a milestone birthday for Frank, and while he does not love birthdays or the attention, I'm like, hey, not only is it the Dill's Diz meetup, it's Frank's birthday, definitely let's go. In terms of picking dates then, it really wasn't up to me. It was centered around when the Dill's Diz meetup was going to be. So they landed around September 13th or 14th, and the exact date sort of before and after for your arrival and departure, for me, was up to my flights. Knowing that this is a shorter trip and I was probably going to get robbed on ticket price, I wanted to try to keep other costs down. So I picked my flights based on price. I found basically a $37 flight going down to Orlando on Wednesday, September 11th, and then coming back I'm paying about $73 to leave on Sunday, September 15th. My flight on Wednesday is quite late, so I will get to work the full day and then fly down, but that means obviously no Disney activities on Wednesday. But I will have all day Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and just a little bit of time on Sunday before I fly back home. Another fun way I justified this short trip to myself is that I'm splitting the hotels with a friend. She was originally going to go in August, I believe, and I mentioned Dill's Diz is doing their meetup in September. I'm probably going to go as soon as they lock down dates. And she was like, oh, I can shift my dates too. So super convenient. I think obviously financially a win for both of us. The Dill's Diz meetup dates were confirmed about 6 months out. So, didn't have right at that 7-month time for Disney Vacation Club. That being said, 6 months out, there still was some stuff available. Definitely not the best stuff, especially I think it being September. So the cheapest DVC season, some things get snapped up extra super fast because the points cost is so low. But Old Key West was still available, so I went ahead and bought all 24 of my one-time use points for the use year, and then we used 2 of my Bay Lake Tower points. That got us 26 points, which is 2 nights in Old Key West. We booked that pretty much 6 months out at Friday night and Saturday night, and then I did also go on the wait list for Boardwalk, which would be an even swap of points. It would still be 26 points to stay in a standard view studio at Boardwalk over the weekend. That being said, I wasn't particularly hopeful about the Boardwalk waitlist coming through, especially since we didn't go on it right at 7 months. And again, it's September, popular time because of the cheapness of points. It's food and wine, so popular definitely for those Epcot resorts. So yeah, ultimately Boardwalk didn't pan out, but we tried. That's also my first failure on the waitlist, but it's also the first time I didn't go on it right at 7 months. So I'm not saying that there's causation there. And I mean, it's such a small sample size even to be claiming correlation, but yeah, first time waitlist failure, so I still maintain the earlier you can go on the waitlist, the better. Therefore, pretty early on, we had our lodging covered for Friday night and Saturday night at Old Key West, and honestly, we were both still working out our flights up until maybe 3 months out. Eventually, we did tack on 1 night at Bay Lake Tower, which we did through a rented or purchased confirmed Disney Vacation Club reservation. Specifically, this is a standard view studio at Bay Lake Tower on a Thursday night, so a weeknight, and it cost us $325 total. Then finally for our arrival night, we both are arriving pretty late, and we talked about maybe staying on property, but then we didn't really want to pay the price to stay on property when we don't have the time to take advantage of the perks or anything. We really just need a bed to sleep in for the night. So we're staying at the Hilton Lake Buena Vista in the Disney Springs area. That cost about $155. All told, for those 4 nights, we're each going to spend about $500, and that is for 1 night at an offsite on arrival night, and then 3 Disney Vacation Club nights to follow. Now for tickets. The friend that I'm splitting rooms with has an annual pass, so this is no big deal for her, but I had to make a decision here. Ultimately, I went with a 3-day special ticket. This is a promotion that's been going on this summer and is valid through September 24th. This is a base ticket, so there's no park hopping, it's 1 park per day, and specifically I can go into Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and Epcot. There is no Magic Kingdom included in this ticket. There is an upgraded version of this ticket, essentially that's 4 days instead, and again, it's a base ticket, but it includes Magic Kingdom. I did play around a long time with thinking about maybe getting that ticket, but especially timing-wise with my flights, this just makes the most sense. I am very sad, though, to be going down to Disney World and not going to Magic Kingdom, and even to be staying at Bay Lake Tower and not going into Magic Kingdom. I don't think I have ever gone to Disney and not gone to Magic Kingdom, so this will be a weird experiment for me mentally. But not doing the 4-day promo ticket and also not trying to get like a 3-day park hopper or really push my luck really did save me some money. They advertised the special ticket as starting at $89 a day. Of course, there still is dynamic pricing, so that was not always true. I was able to get my 3-day promotional ticket through a work ticket vendor that's a little bit discounted, so it ended up being about $274 or about $91 a day, so not too far off from that advertised $89 a day price, but I did also get a little bit of a discount through going through our work tickets portal. So there's your minimally viable trip. We've got flights, we've got hotels, and we've got tickets. Now the general plan definitely can change, and I think especially while I'm in the theme parks, a lot of it will be vibes on like what lines do I feel like waiting in or not. But here is an overview of the trip. Like I said, our arrival night, I'm getting in quite late, just gonna Uber from the airport to the hotel and go to sleep. The next day is Thursday, September 12th. We'll move from our offsite hotel over to Bay Lake Tower. From there, I'm gonna head to the Animal Kingdom. I definitely want to get on Dinosaur. I definitely want to do the safari. I definitely want to get on Expedition Everest. I probably want to try to get into Nomad Lounge, but if that doesn't happen, I'm not going to be heartbroken. And other than that, I'm not too sure what I'll end up doing for my Animal Kingdom day. Like I said, I think it'll be a lot of vibes. The weather obviously will definitely influence this too. We do have a Beaches and Cream lunch with a bunch of the crew who are going down for the Dilladas meetup, so I'm excited about that. And then Animal Kingdom closes quite early and we're staying at Bay Lake Tower, so my intent is to head back to Bay Lake Tower to catch a distanced viewing of Happily Ever After from the hotel. I'm not too sure if that will be from our room if we get lucky, just general public space, or if I'll go up to Top of the World Lounge, but I'm gonna watch Happily Ever After from outside of Magic Kingdom. I gotta get some of those Magic Kingdom vibes in, even though I'm not going into the park. Friday, September 13th, we're moving from Bay Lake Tower to Old Key West, so that'll be our last hotel of the trip. And then I'm gonna do Hollywood Studios this day. I did already purchase MultiPass for this day, so right now I have MultiPass selections for Toy Story Mania, Tower of Terror, and Slinky Dog Dash, but honestly, I am going into the app pretty frequently and like checking in on if I could switch them, if I could move them earlier. Like, I'm not sure what those three will end up being by that day. But I'm going to use MultiPass that day, one, because I want to try it out, and two, because I do think I'll get good use of it out of Hollywood Studios, especially compared to Epcot or Animal Kingdom. The friend I'm splitting my rooms with and I have a very early lunch reservation at Sci-Fi. I've never been to Sci-Fi. It's one of her favorites, I think. So again, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll take an excuse to go try it. So that's basically brunch for me. I think I'll just skip breakfast and then do a couple of rides in the parks until it is time for our very early lunch. I'm not too sure what I'll eat at Sci-Fi. I'm not really a burger person, so I think the obvious options are out for me, but they had some interesting appetizers and I think there might have been a pasta dish or something. We'll see how I feel. But yeah, we'll do this very early lunch. I'll hang out in the park some more, hopefully make good use of MultiPass, and then my plan for now is to Skyliner over to the Riviera Resort for an early dinner. I don't have a reservation, so if it doesn't work out for me, this will be quick service, but in my head, I'm gonna try to go eat at the bar at Topolino's. Then I'll take the Skyliner back over to Hollywood Studios, definitely gonna catch a viewing of Fantasmic to end the night. Then on Saturday, September 14th is my Epcot day. I have no really solid plans for my Epcot day other than I have gone through the food and wine listings and highlighted the ones I am most interested in. There are still too many highlights for one day for my tummy size, so I'm gonna have to make some unfortunate cuts. But yeah, starting at 11, I'm definitely going to be focusing on eating more than anything else. In the Dilladas hangout will be this whole day, so that'll be fun. Ride-wise, I mean, I'll probably single ride or Remy's. If I get up early enough, maybe I'll rope drop Frozen Ever After or Soarin'. I'm not too fussed about really making this ride-heavy day. I just want to hang out and eat. And then I definitely want to see Luminous at the end of the night. I haven't seen that show yet, so that's like actually my number one goal is just making sure that I have a good viewing spot for Luminous. Then Sunday, September 15th, I do have a little bit of time, so we'll wake up at Old Key West and check out, and then head over to Disney Springs for a brunch. Pretty sure we're gonna end up at Homecoming, but that's also subject to change at this point. And then basically I'm just gonna go back to Old Key West, pick up my stuff, Uber to the airport, and fly home. So it's a short little trip, but I'm definitely excited to see a bunch of friends. This is also kind of my first solo trip. My partner is not coming with me. And even though I'm sharing all the hotel rooms with my friend, and we'll definitely do some stuff together, like, again, she has an annual pass. She'll be off park hopping, doing her thing to an extent. I'll be off doing my thing to an extent. So I have, never done like a solo adventure like this, even though it's not fully solo, but it'll be a good taste of that. And I'm excited to go down to Disney. I'm not very excited for the weather. It looks like it's going to be quite hot and possibly very rainy, but that's what we get for going in September. But yeah, a fun little jaunt down to Disney. I assume by the time this gets posted, my trip is ongoing and probably wrapping up. But thank you for all of your suggestions over the years, everyone who's left comments on other vlogs or other monthly creator updates where we're talking about things I should be doing. I know Sci-Fi is super popular with some of you, and even though it's not like high on my list per se, I'm excited to try it. I think it'll be a fun time. More content from the trip is coming. I can't wait to share it with you. I am so excited. And we are still wrapping up content from the October 2023 trip. So if you have a strong preference, leave a comment down below of do you want me to fully finish October 2023 before we get into September 2024? Do you want them intermingled? Let me know. If I manage to take decent footage at Food and Wine from September 2024, I might try to upload that right away while it's still relevant. But that is like a very heavy friend day, like the whole meetup I think will be there that day, so I'm not too sure how much I'll film, but I will do my best. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so grateful to be in this community. Like, I wouldn't be doing this trip without the community. I met Dillo's Diz through the sort of YouTube Disney podcasting content creator community, and they're amazing people, and so many of you are also such gems. I really appreciate your support of the channel, and thank you to everyone who likes the video, subscribes to the channel, follows me on the various social medias. Big thanks to Judy, who's a supporter over on Ko-fi. Thank you again, and we'll see you real soon at Pixie Dust PhD.